Organizing. So yesterday we had done planning. Planning means making the blueprint and deciding well in advance about what is to be done, how it is to be done, where it is to be done, who is going to do it, what kind of resources are required for it. यानी पेपर पे सारा काम हमने कर लिया है. Now comes the next two steps simultaneously. So one question over here arises, that are the functions of management performed one by one or simultaneously? So the answer is they are performed simultaneously. So by the time the plans are ready, immediately the plans are ready, organizing and staffing starts. तो ऐसा नहीं कि organizing पहले होगा फिर staffing होगा, simultaneously साथ साथ चलते चले जाते हैं. तो जितना organizing का part हो जाता है उसके accordingly, like once the structure is created, उसके accordingly staffing भी शुरू हो जाती है, right? So as I said, हमने पेपर पे तो सब कुछ डिसाइड कर लिया है कि कहाँ कब कैसे कौन करेगा, क्या रिसोर्सेज चाहिए, एवरीथिंग इज डन. बट नाउ द टाइम comes to arrange and organize for the resources, create a structure in the organization so that there is clarity about authority and responsibility relationship, so that everybody knows at what level of management they are working, what are their roles and responsibilities, so that there is no confusion and chaos. And next, putting the right people at the right job. यानी planning के बाद आपके पास आ जाता है organizing and staffing. So what is organizing basically? Organizing, in one word we will say, is implementation of the plans. Organizing is nothing but implementing the plans, or in other words, it is arranging all the physical resources in the organization, creating a structure in the organization, and thus implementing the plans. अगर हम इसको definition की बात करते हैं, हम अभी process में जाएंगे. So process में 4 steps हैं, उन 4 steps को मिला के आप बना सकते हैं उसकी definition. So what is the definition? It arrange or organizing is about, or it's a process of identifying various activities, grouping them, establishing reporting relationship, and assigning of duties, or rather you can say assigning of duties. So put the 4 steps in the function together and you get organizing. Now, the 2 keywords: initiates. It is the process that initiates the implementation of plan. So, ये 2 words हम organizing से associate करते हैं: initiation of plans and implementation of plans. यानी putting the plans into action. Action in the sense arranging for resources for them. The process of organizing has 4 steps. I have given it a code, though it doesn't require a code. It's a very simple step or process, but I still have called it as IDAE, idea. So you can remember it as idea. The only thing is the spelling of idea is a little different. So what is the first step? Identification and division of work. देखो, अभी हमने प्लान बना लिया है. अब प्लान को एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए क्या क्या काम करने पड़ेंगे. सो अ कंप्लीट लिस्ट ऑफ ऑल द एक्टिविटीज दैट आर रिक्वायर्ड इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नीड्स टू बी मेड. सो एवरी वर्क दैट इज रिक्वायर्ड नीड्स टू बी आइडेंटिफाइड एंड डिवाइडेड. In a way, you can say this is application of division of work. All the activities in the organization are identified. They are divided into small parts. Each part is called as a job. Okay, so this is first step. Second is grouping the jobs and departmentalization. Now that you have a long list of all the activities, what you're going to do is you are going to group them together. All right. So grouping and then creating departments. Now this grouping, when we are talking about grouping the organization, just one sec, please. Yes. So grouping can be done either on the basis of similarity of jobs, or it can be done on the basis of similarity different kind of products or product lines. इसीलिए जब हम बात करते हैं grouping or departmentalization की, that means either you are creating a functional structure or you are creating a divisional structure. So when the groups are created on the basis of similarity of activities or functions, it's a functional structure. And when it is created on the basis of type of products, product lines, then it's the divisional structure, right? So identify किया, divide किया सारे work को, और फिर उन activities को group कर दिया on the basis of similarity. Third comes assignment of duties. Now that the departments or the divisions have been created, it's very important that departmental heads, divisional heads are appointed, and these divisional heads and departmental heads are going to assign duty to each and everyone in that particular department or division on the basis of their skill set, right? तो पहले क्या किया? Again, हमने पहले सारे वर्क को आइडेंटिफाई किया, उसको स्मॉल पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर दिया, फिर ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ सिमिलैरिटी हमने उनकी ग्रुपिंग कर दी और डिपार्टमेंट्स या डिविजन्स क्रिएट कर दिए। थर्ड स्टेप में हर डिपार्टमेंट में, हर डिवीजन में जितने भी लोग हैं, वी हैव असाइंड जॉब्स टू देम, वी हैव गिवन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज टू देम ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर स्किल, क्वालिफिकेशन, टैलेंट, एक्सपीरियंस, etc. The purpose is to create a specialization. And in the last step here, establishing reporting relationship. So basically, when we are talking about establishing reporting relationship, we are talking about scalar chain, giving the structure. So so this means that a clarity of superior subordinate job relationship is established so that there is no confusion amongst the people and things go without any chaos. So it is putting scalar chain into practice. It's establishing reporting relationship. ठीक है जी, तो ये 4 स्टेप्स हो गए। अब इन्हीं 4 स्टेप से आती है रिलेटेड हमारी सिग्निफिकेंस, इंपॉर्टेंट ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। नाउ वी हैव जस्ट डन बेनिफिट्स ऑफ स्पेशलाइजेशन। आई विल गो बैक हियर। व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट असाइनमेंट ऑफ ड्यूटीज, व्हाट डिड आई टेल यू? दैट ड्यूटीज नीड टू बी assigned on the basis of skills and qualification, and each job will be performed by a person who's a skilled. So हमने क्या पढ़ा? After dividing the organization to specialized department, हम right from point 1 specialization की ही बात कर रहे हैं. So organization brings the benefits of a specialization by application of the principle of division of work. All right. Then optimum utilization of resources. How come optimum utilization of resources? Because a clear structure has been created. There is no overlapping or duplication of work. One department is doing one kind of work. One division is dealing in one kind of product. There is no duplication, and therefore optimum utilization of resources takes place. Here, it is because of the structure, or because of the organizational structure. Then clarity in work relationship. This is again, we just did scalar chain, assigning responsibilities and establishing reporting relationship. Last point किया ना हमने, establishing reporting relationship. So वो जो reporting relationship है, उससे clarity आती है कि कौन किसका senior है, कौन किसका subordinate है, किसने किसको order देना है, किसने किसको report back करना है. So it brings this clarity. So you can see the code I have developed over here, BAY code. So B stands for benefits of organization. A stands for adaptation to change, which we will do now. E stands for effective administration. Then BAY. C stands for clarity in work relationship. O is optimum utilization of resources. D stands for development of personnel, and E is expansion and growth. So यहाँ मैंने आपको ये 3 बता दिए। Benefits of specialization कैसे आता है? Division of work से. Optimum utilization of resources because there is no overlapping and duplication. Clarity in working relationship because of establishing of reporting relationship. Coming on to the next 3, effective administration. How does it bring in effective administration? Because when we define the roles and responsibilities in the organization, when reporting relationship is put up, accordingly, everybody knows who is supposed to do what. So this brings in effective, when people have clarity about their roles and jobs, it brings effective administration. Then adaptation to changes. See, organizing is flexible just like any other function of management. So the process of organization, it helps the firm to adopt to the changes. That means if required, more departments can be added. If required, more divisions can be created, or they can be curtailed also. They can be cut down also as per the need. So that brings adaptation to changes. Modification is allowed. Then development of personnel. We are going to do, or we have done rather, one important aspect of organizing, which is called as delegation. So through delegation, when the authority is transferred by the seniors to their subordinates, it helps the subordinates to develop into better personnel, and they will have better promotional opportunities also. So that leads to development of personnel. Last is expansion and growth. अभी मैंने आपको बताया था कि when the organization grows, see, we did the principle of centralization and decentralization. So when the size of the organization is small, it can be centralized. But as it grows, there has to be decentralization. So through organizing structure, as the need be, the organization can grow and expand. As I said, more departments, more people, more divisions can be created. So this is how organizing leads to expansion and growth. So I'm going to go pretty fast. If anyone feels any doubt anywhere, you can ask me, because my purpose is to finish it as fast as possible and take up a couple of case studies with you.
मैम
Anji. Yes, Aryan.
अडॉप्शन टू चेंज समझा दो एक बार.
Okay, fine. Sure. Adaptation to change क्या कहता है बेटा? कि as the environment changes and the organization has to change, those changes can be accommodated. देखिए क्या लिखा है? It allows the organization structure. So basically we are talking about organization structure to be suitably modified. So when the size of the organization is small, they can deal probably in functional structure. But as they develop more lines of products or different kind of products, they may have to move from functional structure to divisional structure. तो ये changes आसानी से किए जा सकते हैं. और on the contrary, if an organization starts with a wide variety of products, तो वो divisional structure पे start किया, लेकिन पता चला सारे products को response नहीं मिल रहा है market में, तो उन्होंने अपनी line of products को cut short कर दिया. तो जो products की line cut short की, उसके divisions को close भी किया जा सकता है. तो as per the demand, as per the requirements of the business, the organization can change. The structures can change according to the need of the hour. Is that clear, Aryan?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And I'm really happy that you asked a question. That means you are there. All right. So organization structure, इसका कीवर्ड आपको जानना बहुत जरूरी है. What is organization structure? It is a framework. ये आपके keywords हैं, highlighted है इसलिए दूसरे अंक में. It is a framework within which managerial and operating tasks are performed. So what is the organizational structure? It's a framework within which managerial and operational tasks are performed. So this is, as I said, structure is like a scalar chain. The only thing is, जब हमने scalar chain पढ़ा था तो हमने सिर्फ ये inverted V पढ़ा था. तो inverted V बहुत एक छोटा हो गया. अगर आप actual organization structures देखते हैं तो उसमें बहुत सारे levels हो सकते हैं. आपने सिर्फ 3 level पढ़े हैं. TLM में 3-4 levels हो सकते हैं. MLM में 3-4 levels हो सकते हैं. And it's broad based also. So organizational structure is not only tall, it is broad also. However, organization structure से क्या होता है? आपको पता चल जाता है कि कितनी पोजीशंस क्रिएट की जा रही हैं, कितनी किस लेवल पे आ रही हैं, और उन्हीं पोजीशंस के यानी उस स्ट्रक्चर के अंडर ही परफॉर्म करना है. So this is the keyword, which the main language which you are supposed to write for this. All right. Now coming on to span of management, most of the times people miss what is a span of management. Now I don't know if you remember when we were young, we have studied this span. जब हमने मैथ्स की क्लास में मेजरमेंट यूनिट्स की थी तो उसमें हमने एक मेजरमेंट यूनिट की थी स्पैन. सो व्हाट इज अ स्पैन? स्पैन इज दिस. इस थंब से लेके इस फिंगर तक का जो स्पेस है नापने के लिए जो हम काम आता है. इस तरह से देखो, हम इस तरह से कपड़े को नापते हैं कई बार हाथ रख के, जिसे हम कहते हैं बालिश्त. इसको कहते हैं स्पैन. इन अदर वर्ड्स, आपके लिए आपको कितना सामान, आप एक हाथ में कितना सामान ले सकते हैं. इफ आई हैव टू, दिस इज द साइज ऑफ माई हैंड, सो आई कैन ग्रास्प एज मच एज कैन कम इन माई हैंड. दैट इज वॉज अ स्पैन ऑफ मैनेजमेंट सेज. इट सेज कि एक सीनियर या एक मैनेजर बहुत लंबी चौड़ी यूनिट को कमांड नहीं कर सकता. इट विल बी इनइफेक्टिव लीडरशिप. Therefore, what is a span of management? It refers to the number of subordinates which one manager can effectively manage. यानी एक मैनेजर के अंदर सिर्फ उसकी यूनिट में, उसकी टीम में उतने ही लोग रखे जाएंगे जिन्हें वो इफेक्टिवली मैनेज कर सके. सो दैट्स अ स्पैन ऑफ मैनेजमेंट, एंड दिस यूजुअली इज आस्क्ड either as a one marker or as a sub part of a question, but it is missed out. So number of subordinates that can be effectively managed by a superior. Or span of management is the key टू क्रिएटिंग एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन स्ट्रक्चर. तो एक मैनेजर कितनी बड़ी टीम मैनेज कर सकता है उसके हिसाब से ही डिफरेंट लेवल्स क्रिएट किए जाते हैं. Then type of organizational structure, we know that there are two types of organizational structure, functional and divisional. Functional structure में the grouping or departmentalization is done on the basis of similarity of jobs. अलग अलग किस तरीके के काम परफॉर्म हो रहे हैं. So it is formed by grouping of jobs of similar nature. We are talking about jobs of similar nature. So this is the diagram which you will have to give. अगर आपसे पूछा जाता है long answer question about organization structure, identify the structure, please identify and give the diagram. Diagram is very important. So how does it go like? Now here you can see here the organization is divided into प्रोडक्शन डिपार्टमेंट. आपको यहाँ पे प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर लिखा हुआ है. कायदे में आपको लिखना चाहिए लाइक लेट्स से रिलायंस पेट्रोकेमिकल्स. दिस इज माय ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. And now here I have the production department. This is my production department. marketing department, finance department, and HR department. So dividing the organization on the basis of departments where each department is doing a particular kind of work is called as functional structure. So functional का मतलब ही function से आता है. Function means activity to be performed. अब ये कहाँ suitable है बेटा, कहाँ लगाएंगे हम functional structure? Where the size of the organization is large, it has diversified activities. अलग अलग तरह की activities हो रही है, इसीलिए हर तरह की activity को group करना जरूरी है. And or so first is where the size of the organization is large, the second is where there are different kind of activities being performed, and third where each activity requires a specialization. So if I give you an example, like when your mother cooks at home, she does everything in cooking, but अगर वही हमें हर काम के लिए एक स्पेशलाइजेशन चाहिए होता है, जैसे अगर हम एक होटल की बात करते हैं, तो होटल में कुकिंग डिपार्टमेंट अलग हो जाएगा, चॉपिंग डिपार्टमेंट अलग हो जाएगा, रिक्विजिशन डिपार्टमेंट अलग हो जाएगा. तो चॉपिंग भी एक स्पेसिफिक होनी चाहिए कि जूलियंस कहाँ डलने हैं, डायमंड शेप वेजिटेबल्स कहाँ डलनी है, तो वो सब काम एक ही नहीं कर सकते, तो आपने उसको भी डिपार्टमेंट्स में कर दिया. तो जहां बहुत ज्यादा एक्सट्रीम स्पेशलाइजेशन का जरूरत होता है, वहां पे फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर को क्रिएट किया जाता है. Taking on to the benefits, what are the advantages बेटा? Occupational यानी functional specialization आ जाएगा, हर department एक particular kind of activity में specialize करेगा. It increases the managerial and operational efficiency. Why? When people are doing the same kind of task again and again, then it increases their managerial and operational efficiency. Like if I'm a business studies teacher, I'm teaching business studies again and again. Every time I teach, my efficiency is going to improve. On the contrary, अगर मैं 5 या 6 सब्जेक्ट्स पढ़ा रही हूँ, तो मेरी एफिशिएंसी भी उन 5 या 6 सब्जेक्ट्स में बढ़ जाएगी. सो फंक्शनल में क्योंकि आप एक ही फंक्शन परफॉर्म करते हो टाइम एंड अगेन, सो द एफिशिएंसी increases, right? Efficiency, that is managerial as well as operational efficiency, increases. Then easy coordination, since people are performing the same kind of activity, it's very easy to coordinate, right? So you can see these are functional structures are interdependent on each other. हमने coordination में भी किया था that each department works in a coordinated manner with the other. So these are interdependent and not independent. And last is effective training. It's very easy to organize trainings for the people who are doing the similar kind of activities because such training schedules can be easily given. Like if I want to train the people on the new version of Tally, then that will be organized for the people in the finance department. Production, sales, बाकी लोगों को उससे कुछ लेना देना नहीं होगा. So it's easy to organize trainings. Disadvantages. Difficulty in achieving organizational goals. Now, this is a common disadvantage. ये divisional structure में आएगी. Now, what happens is sometimes departments become so strong that they start focusing more on their objectives rather than the organizational objectives. So, कभी-कभी department के objectives को achieve करना ज़्यादा important हो जाता है as compared to organizational objectives. Inflexible. Now, what is inflexible? It is, when people are doing the same kind of work again and again, then they become master of one, but jack of none. So like if I know business studies very well, but I don't know economics. So tomorrow if the economics teacher leaves and I am told to teach economics, I can't teach क्योंकि मुझे तो आता ही नहीं है ना. मैंने तो पूरी जिंदगी सिर्फ business studies पढ़ा है. तो इसी तरह अगर कोई sales department में काम कर रहा है तो उसे सिर्फ sales के बारे में ही पता है, उसको बाकी departments का पता ही नहीं है. So they cannot be transferred or shifted from one department to another. So it's inflexible in that nature because they know only one kind of activity. Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest कब आता है बेटा? अभी हमने क्या कहा? Departments need to work as interdependent, right? Not independent. But it is difficult to do. So every department feels I am the best. So sometimes there might be a difference of opinion, difference of working, difference of interest between two or more departments. So interdepartmental conflicts जब आ जाते हैं, तो वो conflict को like that may create some conflict of interest. And last is problems in coordination. It's again problems in coordination. Coordination is something deliberate that we have done earlier also. It's a deliberate activity which has to be put in. It doesn't come from within. It is like, it's a forced activity. So when coordination is missing, then the departments start working in independent units, not interdependent units, right? So these are the disadvantages. Coming on to divisional structure is applied when an organization deals in different kinds of products which are different from each other. So when an organization deals in different products, one division deals with one kind of product. And not only this, also when an organization covers a very large geographical area, तब भी डिविजनल स्ट्रक्चर आता है. ये क्लैरिटी आपको होनी चाहिए. जैसे अगर हम सीबीएसई की बात करते हैं, सीबीएसई वर्क्स इन जोन्स, राइट? It works in regional offices. So when regional offices are created, when zones are created, like railways is also divided into zones: north, west, south, east, then northeastern railways, western railways, southwestern railways. तो इस तरह से जब डिवीजन होता है तब भी हमारा डिविजनल स्ट्रक्चर ही आता है. So again, what is the divisional structure? A structure which is created when an organization deals in different kinds of products which are different from each other, or where it wants to cover a very large geographical area which cannot be covered by the functional structure. Now this is the diagram you can see over here. So इसमें क्या है? Division A. Again, अगर मैं Reliance की बात लूँ तो I can Reliance Industries. Now I'm writing Reliance Industries. So this is my petrochemicals. This is my Reliance Education. This is my Reliance Sports. So these are three different divisions. Petrochemicals का education और sports से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. Education has got nothing to do with petro and sports and so on. One thing that is need to be known is that in each of the divisions there is a functional structure also. So जब divisional structure होता है तो अगर यहाँ 3 divisions है, हर 3 division के अंदर functional structure भी है. So there is a functional structure in division A, B, C and all. What are the advantages? Product specialization, explain करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Expansion and growth. As larger geographical area is covered, as more products are added, more industries are opened, then divisional structure is the only way out. Flexibility and initiative. Why do we say that it's more flexible and it promotes initiative? Because flexibility, because more units can be added, more divisions can be added. More so, decision making is in the hands of the divisional head. Divisional head के ऊपर ही सारे decision making आती है, and he does not have to look towards the top level management for these decisions. So decisions become very, flexible. बहुत fast decisions होते हैं और flexible रहते हैं. It's not dependent on others. What are the disadvantages? More resources required. आपने देखा duplication of efforts हो रहा है. हर division में एक functional structure भी आ रहा है. So more resources are required, and that's why divisional structure is much more expensive as compared to a functional structure. Conflicts, मैंने आपको बताया था कि ये same 2 points है, conflicts और ignoring of organizational interest, ये common है. So ये आप दोनों में डाल सकते हो. What kind of conflict? Conflict may arise between 2 or more units, divisions rather, on the allocation of resources. क्योंकि आज जैसे अगर हम बजट की बात करते हैं, बजट आता है तो बजट अलग अलग यूनिट्स को, सबको, मिनिस्ट्रीज को मिलता है. इसी तरह जब हम बजट की बात करते हैं एक डिविजनल स्ट्रक्चर के लिए, सो जो रिसोर्सेज होती हैं वो डिविजन्स को अलग अलग मिलती हैं. सो समटाइम्स देयर मे बी अ प्रॉब्लम बिटवीन द डिविजन्स ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ on the basis of allocation of resources like funds or any other resources, right? And the last one is ignoring of organizational interest. If divisional interest becomes superior to the organizational interest, then organizational interest can get compromised. So ये 2 points हैं, ये सबसे important है क्योंकि ये दोनों में common है. तो आप इनको जरूर याद रखिएगा. ये functional structure और divisional structure दोनों की disadvantages हैं. We have covered a major chunk. So this is the difference you can see. अगर कुछ points हम कर चुके हैं, 1-2 मैं ले लेती हूँ. मैनेजरियल डेवलपमेंट की बात करते हैं तो फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर में मैनेजरियल डेवलपमेंट इज नॉट दैट इजी. इट्स डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज complete autonomy and flexibility and decision making is not in the hands of the departmental heads. They're absolutely they have to rely on the top level management. Divisional structure की बात करते हैं, so they have to take all the decisions. So managers develop, जो full-fledged managers होते हैं who know everything, they come out of the divisional structures. So when it is the in the race of succession to the GM, general manager, or the new chairman, it is always the divisional heads who supersede than the functional heads. Cost obviously हमें पता है. एक important point ये है, functional structure में you cannot fix the responsibility of losses or not achieving the organizational objectives on any one department. But divisional में आप बहुत easily fix कर सकते हो कि ये division perform कर रही है और ये division perform नहीं कर रही है. Then we come on to organization. Okay, now before I go over there again, अगर question आपसे कहता है आइडेंटिफाई द स्ट्रक्चर, द वर्ड इज स्ट्रक्चर, तो आपका आंसर आएगा फंक्शनल स्ट्रक्चर या डिविजनल स्ट्रक्चर। अगर क्वेश्चन आपसे कहता है आइडेंटिफाई द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, देन योर आंसर इज फॉर्मल or informal. So what is formal organization? Formal organization is something which is deliberately established or set in by the top level management in order to achieve organizational goals. I repeat, a structure on an organization which is deliberately created by the top level management. Why? To achieve the organizational goals is called as formal organization. किस लिए establish की गई है? Purpose is to establish, achieve organizational goals. Okay. And in this informal organization, everyone has a fixed, defined designation or a post and authority and responsibility. Right? So you can see here, स्केलर चेन के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की जब हम बात करते हैं, या ये जो स्ट्रक्चर हमने बात किया इसको क्रिएट करने की बात करते हैं, तो वो दैट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ फॉर्मल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन। व्हाट आर द एडवांटेजेस?
मैम व्हाइट पेन से लिख लो, रेड पेन से वो मतलब दिख नहीं रहा अच्छी तरह।
बेटा इसका इंक ना चेंज नहीं हो रहा है। I mean, अगर मैं चेंज करती हूँ ना इसका इंक, तो फिर मैं जैसे ही नेक्स्ट स्लाइड पे जाऊंगी, इट डिसअपियर्स और इट स्टेट स्टैटिक। सो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम बाउंड टू राइट विद दिस, बट आई क्लियर। Okay, thanks for your suggestion, but I'm not able to, I mean, it's not working. Okay, going on to the advantages. Systematic working, आपके पास एक प्रॉपर स्ट्रक्चर क्रिएटेड है, आप उसके अकॉर्डिंगली, आपका जो रोल असाइंड है उसके अकॉर्डिंगली वर्क कर रहे हो, तो ऑब्वियसली इट विल बी मोर सिस्टमैटिक।